Back to the vlog. It is Friday and we have a fun day planned. Yes, we do.
I may or may not be under the weather. Hurts to talk. Figured we'd make a steam bowl and see what kind of seasoning I have. I quite frankly don't have anything that I saw to put in a steam bowl, but we're just gonna try this. I've got parsley flakes, rosemary, and basil leaves. I'm thinking the basil leaves might work. And all my pots are dirty. I hope that wasn't too much. I think it should be fine. I have lemon juice. I have garlic too. It's minced garlic. I don't know. We'll try it. You okay, little boy? Oh my gosh, I'm getting annoyed. Just doing that. Are you dizzy? You look dizzy.
And here I am, half a year out of college, feeling the same pain I did when I got cut from my high school basketball team my freshman year. The reality is, you have to execute better than 99% of the people around you to reach your dreams. And who even am I? Let me introduce myself. Or better known as Shiny Visuals. I'm a 23-year-old filmmaker from Portland, currently living in Chicago. Hi, I'm Justin, or better known as Shiny Visuals. I'm a 23-year-old filmmaker from Portland, currently living in Chicago. While I went viral, traveled the world, met tons of new people, and I even made the news, I wanted to start freelancing. So I networked around campus to work with business. From a young age, I realized that creativity is in everyone's blood.
But I ended the
Capturing precious memories for me and my friends as we explored the great outdoors, put on people's, and I felt like I made a change in the world for the first time.
intention isn't there. It's there when, you know, you're incarcerated and you have nothing else to do, but then, you know, once you get out, it's gone. And I you know, I am a little bit of a control freak and I am passionate about it. So I feel like I'm going to be great about this.
He's very, very calm.
And nobody will go with me.
I am. It's 12:30 a.m. the 17th, which means it's day technically like day 4 of me being sick. I tried to ignore it. I just tried not believing it. But I'm sick and I'm on antibiotics for what I can believe is strep. I did have a hair appointment and that was like day 2 or day 3. I was feeling really good that day. Well, not really good. Don't be deceived. I was not doing well, but I did put my makeup together and I did dress very bummy because my head was foggy, my throat hurt a bit, but I had already had this appointment planned, and then I had Destiny took off work to help me get there to the appointment. So I was like, okay, I just have to do it. And I was dreading it all the night before, but when I woke up, I was like, oh, I'm not feeling as bad as I was. Like, oh, I must be getting better. I've been like gargling salt water and doing the steam, cough drops, you know, all that stuff. The day after I got my hair done, I felt like I don't even know how to explain it. It felt like my entire throat was scraped. I don't know how to explain it. I've had strep before, so I know what strep is like. I've had so many things in the past. So it's funny because it's not funny at all, actually. I kind of was getting a cold a while ago where I was also on my period, so I kind of got hit with 2 whammies, but it was nothing like this. Like, I feel like that was just like a day or 2 cold, and I was able to deal with that very, very fast. But I haven't been sick like this since we were homeless in my car. I had a double ear infection, and then there was another time I was also super duper sick and I was staying in a hotel. There's a video about it. And ever since then, like, I haven't been sick like this since then. And even then, like, that was worse than what it is now. But I mean, this is pretty bad. This is pretty bad. And I am not around very many people. I'm not around anybody at all. But recently I had been around someone. This is how I got it. No shame or whatever to that person at all. And I don't even want to say it was their fault whatsoever, because as far as I know, they're not sick at all, even right now. I don't think. I'll have to check in. It's one of those things where this is more than being sick. This is more of like a don't get distracted, and if you do get distracted, you're gonna be delayed, and that's exactly how that's what's going on. I'm really trying to just accept the fact that I've actually already learned this lesson, which is why I'm not surprised why I've been dealt the cards that I ultimately dealt myself. During this time period of me laying in bed feeling like I've been rotting, I've been able to realize that you can listen to God all you want and still disobey him. You can hear God all day long, but what it comes down to is obedience. And I preach that day in and day out. Preach obedience. The enemy will really come in and try to see if you'll fall, try to see if you'll fall back into your old ways and fall back into your own or your old patterns. And sometimes he'll bring back old obstacles that you've already had to defeat. And when you see these obstacles, you're like, I've dealt with this before. But the flesh is sometimes like, let me just see if I've really dealt with this before. I don't know who this is for, obviously, but I know it's for somebody because I heard it and I know for a fact it was for me. But pay attention to the details going on in your life right now. Pay attention to the spirit of backwardness. Pay attention to old patterns. Pay attention to dates. Pay attention to birthdays. Pay attention to time frames, really. Pay attention to the details in your life right now. I've learned that staying obedient isn't just for you, because if you're not obedient, it's not only going to affect you, but it's going to affect others. For example, like, I'm sick and it affects Dace because I can't take him to the park, or I can't play with him every day like, you know, I could, or I can't take him on, you know, a little 5-minute walk when we go potty. Like, it has to be very, very quick because I'm so low energy. I just can't walk very far, or I'm just like super out of breath. The outside noise is so loud to my ears, and I'm sleeping longer, so that's just time more away from him. Being obedient isn't just for you, it's for those around you as well. And if we're not being obedient, we're honestly being selfish. We really are being very, very selfish, especially when the Lord has told you something and you've heard what he's told you, and you still continue to do something your own way just because you want to see if it might play out differently, or because you want to see if you've really been down this rabbit hole before. And let me tell you, I have been down this rabbit hole before, except really the fact that I learned much, 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 much faster than I did the first time. I know that the enemy is sitting back laughing over the fact that I'm sick, and he's thinking that, got you. How can a God that loves you so much allow you to sit back and get sick and da-da-da-da-da? And it's like, I will preach to the end that whatever the enemy meant for evil, God means it for good. Because though I'm sick, I've had so much time to sit back and reflect, realize like, oh my gosh, you were right. And I knew you were right from the beginning, and I was just being stupid and I was being selfish. But it's okay. It's okay because God's mercy is renewed every single morning. I'm not gonna stand here and think like, oh, you're sick, this is a punishment for you. Kind of it is though. It is, but I did it to myself is the thing. That's the thing. I did it to myself. I did it to myself, and I know that I did it to myself. And what's super annoying is that I delayed myself. I have so much work I need to be doing. There's so much that I need to clean that I've not been able to clean. There's so much exercise Dace needs that I've had yet to be able to give him, and I have not been able to give it to him. There's so much delay in not being obedient, and someone needs to recognize that and take that to heart. Just be patient with what God has for you. Be patient with what God has arranged for you. Be patient with what God has ordained for you. And I know it sucks not knowing whatever it is that you want to know, but ultimately if you were supposed to know right now, you would know. Here's a good 3rd grade level analogy for you. I have Dace. It's over 100 degrees out in Arizona. August, September, July even, you know, it's 115, 120 degrees. Well, Dace doesn't know that. I'm his protector. I'm his owner. So I have to do what I need to do in order to keep him safe, in order to keep him protected and happy and healthy. He doesn't know at all how hot it is outside. He doesn't know the weather temp. He doesn't know that the ground's gonna be super hot. He doesn't know that he can't have certain ingredients in his food or else he'll get an allergic reaction. He just trusts me to give him what's best for him at the time that it's given. So when he's sitting by the window all day long wondering why can't he just go outside, why can't we just go on a walk at 2 p.m. in the day, during the day? It's so beautiful outside, it looks glorious, there's palm trees, there's a slight wind, blah 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 blah, there's birds flying, like why can't I go out there? Well, Dace, like you don't know that it's super hot out there and your feet will get blisters. I know you don't like dog shoes, so I'm not gonna force you to wear them. So we're gonna wait until super late out, take you out where it's less hot and less harmful to your body, especially because you have so much fur, you can overheat. So there's just so many factors into going as to like why Dace can't go outside during the day, or like why we can't stay out for as long as we can, or why I give him certain food, or you know, why we avoid certain hallways here, or like why this, why that. Like, it's because I'm protecting him. I'm not depriving him for anything. I'm giving him what he needs when he needs it, because he doesn't know what's best when it's best for him. And that's really the perspective that we as new followers or us as Christians need to have, is that the Lord will give us what we need when we need it, because what we see now isn't what the case is. The Lord sees the bigger picture, we don't. Us as dog owners and us as animal owners, like we see the bigger picture. We see what's best for our animals. We see what's good and what's bad for them, right? So that's the same perspective that we need to have when we're following Jesus, that though something may sound very desirable, or though something may seem or look very wonderful and all that good stuff, we don't see that something's toxic for us. We don't see that that thing is poisonous to our mind, body, and soul, because all we see is that outer picture. We don't see all the factors that go into it like the Lord does. So that's why we have to trust his timing. That's why we have to trust that he knows what's best for us, because how can we expect to know what's best for us when we don't even know what tomorrow brings, you know, like the Lord does. You know, I planned to do this steam like over my face again, like I did a couple days ago. My throat doesn't hurt anymore since I've been on antibiotics and drinking a lot of water and stuff. Now it's like my nasal cavities up here, just like when you breathe in too much air, it burns. There's that. My glands are super duper swollen, but they've gone down quite a bit, so woohoo. I've also just been wearing sweats and a hoodie, having my heating pad on full blast, because I'm just trying to sweat this thing out, because really that's one of the best ways to get rid of a cold or anything, is just sweat it out. Just sweat it out. I just have this thing going to just like give the aroma for the room. Is that the right terminology for that? Give the aroma for the room. Steam up, whatever, you know what I'm saying. And I did have to not DoorDash, I did have to Instacart, because with the antibiotics I'm taking, you have to take it with food, and I tried taking it without food, and let me tell you, that messed up my stomach. This has always been one of my favorites. I love cheese tortellini even outside of it being soup, and one thing about me is I know I'm getting sick when I dream about soup, because I don't even like soup, or when I start craving soup, that's how you know there's a cold coming on, because I do not like soup. And then we've got the classic tomato basil I love to just crumble saltines into. I got this that I'm honestly not too excited about, just because there's bacon bits in it and I don't like bacon, but I'm gonna try to just remember the fact that it's not real bacon and they're just bacon bits, because I really do like the baked potato, and that's what I was wanting, baked potato and cheddar. And I think that's what I'm gonna make up actually right now. That's what I've got going on. I didn't realize how much ginger I purchased online, so I've got literally a whole bag of ginger. But I think this could be good, because I could make like tea out of it and use more for like the aroma therapy in here. And then about a whole bag of lemons. You can't really go wrong with however many lemons you get. Oh. Oh, that looks real gross. It smells better than it looks. Maybe I should not make all of it, because I know I won't eat all of it. Gosh dang it. Oh, good enough. Ew. That's not what I wanted. don't look like I have risen, but I have. Thank the Lord. 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 I don't even know what day it's. We're on day probably 10, maybe like day 9, but I'm feeling so much better. So much better. I can't even begin to tell you how much better I feel. I don't look good at all, but I feel so good. I just need to like shower, clean, put the house back together. I'm so annoyed because I had egg bites out. I had I had 2 packs of 2 each. Okay, I had 2 packs in each pack was 2 of egg bites, and they were the big ones. They're like the ones from Starbucks, and I don't even get Starbucks. I don't even know why I bought that at Costco when I did, but they're good. They're all right. But I ate some the other night, and then I forgot to put the rest of the pack back into the fridge. So I just wasted 4 of them. I mean, they're not cheap. Then I forgot to put half of one of the soup cans in the fridge, so I let one of the rest of the soup cans spoil. So that's super annoying. While I was making my homemade recipe concoction thing, I remembered when I was like sprinkling in oregano that when we were staying in our hotel, when we were in our car, I remember being so sick that I was on TikTok looking for at-home remedies to do, natural herbs and this, that, and the other. There was this one thing that said to go get oregano droplets or some type of oregano that you could consume, and I'm like, okay, that actually sounds pretty good. Like, I feel like that's believable. I could bank on that. I looked in all of these stores online. Walgreens didn't have it. I knew Walmart didn't have it. I knew Target didn't have it. I remember calling this one super healthy nut store. All they have is just like medicine. I thought it was a Whole Foods, but it's not a Whole Foods. It's something, it literally has the word medicine on it, I think. I can't remember. Anyways, I go into the store, I get a couple snacks, and I go to like the oils, because that's what it said. I needed like the droplets that like go underneath your tongue. So I go over to the oils, the essential oils. The essential oils is where I go. And I find this little container of oregano. And I'm like, perfect, this is what I need. You guys, I'm so out of it. I remember exactly how I was feeling, and I was feeling just completely out of it. I cannot help but laugh at this. And this is before my first TikTok got banned, because I think I posted it. But it's not there anymore because that TikTok's gone, and then I wish I had the video still, but it was on the phone that ended up crashing, and so it's like backed up on a hard drive somewhere within 40,000 videos and photos, so I can't go look for it right now. But I remember getting right back into the car, and it was a muggy day. I don't like it is today. It was a muggy day. It was raining. It was just like not it. The weather was reflecting exactly how I was feeling. I purchased this oregano, I get back into my car, and I don't even leave the lot. I just try it right there in my car, and I smell it, and it was like super duper strong. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I had a water right next to me. I open up the cap, and it's like a flat, it's like a flat head. I'm like, well, how the heck am I supposed to like put the droplets under my tongue if it's a flat surface on the... Anyways, I proceed to like literally open my mouth and like do the motion to get it into my mouth. And instantly my mouth catches fire. It instantly catches fire. Drinking water down. I'm not even drinking water down. The water that I had next to me, I like put it in my mouth, and I like swirl it around inside my mouth, swish it back and forth, and then I open the door. Oh yeah, I open the door, spit it out, and I just keep doing that repeatedly, and then I close my door at one point, and at this point my mouth is so numb I cannot feel my mouth. I can't feel my tongue, but I know that it burns, and the taste is disgraceful. After I shut my door the last time, I locked my car, and then this lady's trying to get in my car from the back, and I can't even talk. Like, my eyes are watering, my eyes are burning, my mouth is on fire, my mouth is numb. I don't know what's going on. I have no more water left, so at this point I'm drooped over my steering wheel. Not over my steering wheel, but like in front of my steering wheel, and my mouth is just open. It's just open, and I have saliva just like drooling down, and that empty water bottle that I drank all the water out of, I have it below me, just like catching all the saliva right below me. And at the same time, this lady's trying to get into my car, and I can't even look. Like, I look back just a little bit to see what the heck is going on, and I just like do this no motion. Like, I can't help you right now. I cannot help you right now. I cannot help you. I'm like looking at this bottle, and all the little napkins that I had in my glove department thing, all gone. Done for. They're all gone. So at this point, I don't even remember what I was wearing, but I was drenched. I was covered in saliva and spit and this awful oregano smell. And mind you, my entire mouth is completely red. I'm looking at this bottle as I'm able to like process through all this, and it says essential oil, not for consumption. And I'm like, what the heck? How is this possible? The thing on TikTok or the thing on whatever it is that I found it on said to get oregano that was consumable, so I thought that's what I was getting, but I ended up getting the essential oils that you would put in like an essential oil thing to give like aromatherapy for your room, because that's what it said on the in tiny font, aromatherapy. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I was probably there for like an hour, maybe 45 minutes, until I was able to get my composure back and go back into the store, return this thing, tell them what ended up happening, showing them my face, because I think at the time I was wearing my mask because, for one, it just made sense. I was sick and people are still wearing masks around this time. I didn't want anyone to see my mouth. So once I went to go return, because they're like, weren't you just here? I was like, yeah, I was. And I got the wrong thing because I thought that this was consumable, and it most definitely was not consumable. And I like pulled my mask down and they could see how red my face was, so I ended up returning it and I got my $14 back. Woohoo. I was like, where is the oregano oil that you can consume? I got assistance this time and they took me to where it was basically in the same spot, just on the opposite side of the aisle. Take that to the counter, purchase that. I didn't even try it when I got back into the car. We go back to the hotel. My mouth is so sensitive, like my tongue is just on fire. Like I can't feel the tip of my tongue at this point. I like wait until my mouth, I guess, recovers itself. Later that evening, I remember trying to have this oregano oil, like droplets in my tongue, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because the scent was so strong and my mouth was still so sensitive that I wasn't able to even have this oregano oil, so I ended up just throwing it away. I also wasn't going to take the time to go back and return this because at this point it was just ridiculous. What's super funny I recorded this entire video because I was filming one of my daily vlogs that I was doing at the time, and so I was recording me doing the little droplets in the car with this oregano oil that was not consumable, and I got my entire reaction and everything, and I remember watching it back and I remember showing my coworkers at work the next day, or whenever I ended up going back to work. When I tell you, it was awful. It was absolutely awful, but everyone got a laugh out of it, so that's what matters. That's what matters. That's what matters. I will never ever be trying to consume oregano oil of any sorts ever again in my entire life, even if it's consumable, because that has given me PTSD. It was so awful. You don't even understand. You don't even understand. I was so miserable. I was so sick at the time. And then to not be able to breathe. You know, like when you're so sick that certain scents are just too strong for you and it makes you feel like you can't breathe at all, like you're suffocating in this scent and you can't breathe. That's how I was feeling. I can't even wash my sheets or anything when I'm sick because the scent of the detergent is usually too strong for me to be around. So yeah, I have to wait until after I'm no longer sick to clean my sheets, which is kind of gross, but at the same time, it's just me. It's just me and Days. If I ever come across that video, I will be sure to show you guys. I will be sure to show you guys. There's got to be a time where I can set aside, honestly, an entire day to go through that hard drive. Anywho, we're doing better. I'm gonna go take one of my antibiotics because I still have 5 or 6 more days of those that I have to take despite how well I'm feeling. I can still feel like I'm a little congested, but my throat don't hurt, my glands aren't swollen anymore. I can see, I can think, I can hear. The outside noises are normal again. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end this vlog right where we're at, and we will see you in the next video. See you, bye-bye. We'll see you in the next one. We'll see you in the next one. See you in the next one.